Hello everyone, and welcome to the NASCAR Nick YouTube channel. This is my first video on the channel, and it's one that I want to dedicate just to NASCAR. It's a sport that I'm very passionate about, that I follow pretty much religiously, if you want to say that. And it's something that I think needs to be, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be addressed about NASCAR, especially recently. Just a little bit of background on me. I've been watching NASCAR, like I said, religiously since pretty much 2008 on a weekly basis. But the first race I ever went to was the 2007 Daytona 500. So if you go and see my channel art on YouTube, that's why it shows the picture of Kevin Harvick nudging out Mark Martin there for the Daytona 500. I wanted Mark to win, like I think everyone else in the stands that night, but unfortunately it was Kevin Harvick that took the checkered flag. I was never a Harvick fan, but now I don't really mind him, whatever. But definitely wanted Mark to win that race. But anyway, yeah, so just wanted to start this channel to just talk about NASCAR, something that I'm passionate about, something that a lot of other people, of course, are passionate about. It's a pretty popular sport. It's not up there with football anymore, though. I think it was like 10 years ago or whatever. It was like the fastest growing, obviously not having that luck anymore. But I just want to talk about what I feel is wrong with NASCAR and what can be improved, and which there's a lot of, and it's going to be a multiple video series, obviously, hopefully with a better background than my apartment. But basically what I want to talk about in this video is the entire chase playoff BS system that NASCAR has right now. And so this is going to be posted. Obviously, Kansas was the most recent race. And a lot of people were mad that Kyle Larson was out. A lot of people were mad that, they penalized Matt Kenseth for the 7 men over the wall. A lot of people were mad that my boy Jimmy Johnson got into the round of 8 and all this stuff. So here are the fundamental things that I think are wrong with the current chase format, and I'm not going to suggest what can be improved, but that could definitely be another video. But here are the things that can easily, for sure have to go. NASCAR is not a stick and ball sport. NASCAR is racing, and no other form of motorsport that I know of has a playoff system like stick and ball sports. It doesn't work in racing, and I'll tell you why. Here's why, okay? In stick and ball sports and most other sports besides motor racing in general, you have one team that goes up against one other team at one time. So Bears and Packers, Bulls and, God, I don't know any NBA teams, Bulls and the Spurs or whatever, and stuff like that. So 1v1 at one time. In NASCAR and a lot of other, motor racing, it's all the teams at the same time. So that's like all 32 NFL teams playing on the same field at the same time. So you can't have a system dedicated on wins and pretty much only win. I mean, now it's slightly better now with the stages, and we'll get into that for sure. Don't worry about that. But the premise of NASCAR and, just focusing on NASCAR is consistency. It's who's the best throughout the entire year. And so, like I said, I started watching NASCAR in 2008, saw a few races in 2007, so I missed the Winston Cup, right? I completely missed it. I never saw, Matt Kenseth win his 2003 championship. But I know that each race should matter, and in our current format, it doesn't. You can win one race and then just magically be in the chase or the playoffs or whatever you want to call it, and that's just stupid. I mean, it shouldn't be like that. You have people like Casey Kane, people like Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Now, he's good at restrictor plate tracks, but he shouldn't be running for a championship. He's not that caliber of a team. He can get there, but he's just hasn't been ever. And really, the main thing I want to talk about is with that, and with everyone on the field at the same time, if you will, is that NASCAR, you have a 1 in 40th. You're 1 in 40 chance of winning the race. If everything's equal. Now we know everything's not equal, but let's just say for pure argument stance that you have a 1 in 40 chance of winning the race. That's a lot smaller than stick and ball sports where it's, essentially if everything's equal, a 50% chance of winning. So that's why you can't have elimination rounds in any type of really motorsport, and especially NASCAR, because look what happened at Kansas. Kyle Larson gets knocked out of the chase because he has one engine failure. Now, I mean, that is catastrophic. Obviously, that's terrible. He would have done terribly that race anyway. But in the regular chase format that we had previously, where it was 10 races, or of course in the format before where it was the entire year, which is probably what it should be, then obviously would have really sucked for a race, but he would still be in and still be going for a championship potentially. So, I don't know how NASCAR doesn't see this, or how the people, people don't understand that you 1 in 40 of winning. That's I think it's, I don't know, I did it one time. It's less than, it's like a 3% chance or something like that. Or no, it's like a 2.5% chance or something. Something like that. So when you have a 2.5% chance of winning and you're doing an elimination style, it doesn't make any sense. It absolutely doesn't make any sense. So I just wanted to say that that's the main problem with the elimination format. Is the rounds, it's so dumb. It doesn't reward consistency at all. Literally at all. One win and you're in. Absolutely insane. I can't believe that passed their brainstorm table of, oh, what's a good idea for a NASCAR championship? Yeah, let's have rounds where you can just win and get in. Then they'll have David Reagan winning at Talladega and being in the chase. It's that's great, he made the chase, but he's not going to be a contender. That's the other thing. It shouldn't be 16 drivers. It should be 10. It should be 10 or less. 10 or even 8. 8's probably, honestly, a better number, but it might be too low. But personally, I think the chase format that, was implemented from 2004 through 2013 is the best. 10 of the best drivers also getting in on points. That's it. It should just be points. Shouldn't be anything else. Strictly points. 10 best drivers get in on points, and they race for the last 10 races of the year, and that's it. And whoever has the most points accumulated at the end of those 10 races out of the 10 best drivers wins the championship. I think it's not the old way of doing it where it's a whole season. I think that's also a good way of doing it, but I think, NASCAR's not going to, they love the chase, they love the playoff, so they're never going to go back to that, unfortunately. I would like to see it because I never saw it live, but they have to get back to that. The 16 drivers, that's way too many. The last 4 are always people that should definitely not be there, and the other 2 are all right, they kind of did okay during the year. Maybe I could see them being there, but no, it should be top 10 in points. It should be only on points. If you win, great, but it only helps you with points. It shouldn't help you just automatically advance because you won. That's ridiculous. So that's how that should be. And I feel pretty strongly about that. I know a lot of people hated on the original chase. I don't really know why, because I thought it was okay. Obviously, being a Jimmy Johnson fan, maybe I'm a little biased, but I thought it was a pretty fair way of doing it if you're going to have a chase at all. If you're not going to have a chase, then the whole season. And that makes the most sense because every race really, really matters. And it mattered in the chase, too. I think they definitely should have done something for the regular season champion, because they should have given him maybe a 50-point bump or whatever, and this is talking the old point system. Or hell, maybe even 100 points is a little much. Maybe maybe a 25, 50-point bump or something to start off the chase. I think that would have been cool. And then maybe prize money and a trophy would have been great too. They never did that, but I thought that, because if you're the best out of 26 races, that's pretty good. So that's what I would have liked to see, but of course never happened. But yeah, so that kind of brings me to the whole 2015 terrible chase playoffs, whatever. The stupid win in your in system happened. Kyle Busch, I just have to talk about this. I don't hate Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is a fantastic driver. Is he as good behind the wheel as a Jimmy Johnson or, you know, some Jeff Gordon or some of the other big names in NASCAR? I think yes. I mean, his pure skill level. Look at the 2012, what's it called? The Budweiser Shootout. The 2012 Budweiser Shootout spun 3 or 4 times, came back and won. I mean, that's crazy. So no, he's had a lot of instances where you can clearly see he's a great driver. He's fantastic, but he's not a champion. And I say that only because even with the stupid system that we have with the win and you're in, whatever, you gotta race all the races. You can't just miss 11. That's a third of the season, essentially. It's just under a third of the season. You can't miss a third of the season of anything and just, oh yeah, now we're in. Now we can contend. And of course, Kyle Busch, he can win one race. Of course, he can win Homestead, like whatever. Like, he's Kyle Busch. He can win one race and get lucky. He didn't get lucky. He was good that day, but still, winning one race shouldn't determine the champion of the entirety of a season. I mean, 2015, Logano would have won the title had it been a whole season. 2014, it would have been Jeff Gordon, right? 2016, I don't know. It might have been Truex. I'm not sure. But you see the problem is he didn't deserve the championship. People say he earned it, kinda. I mean, he earned it by the handicap system that NASCAR has, this is ridiculous too. If you're top 30 in points, you are eligible to be in the chase if you have a win. So if you have a win and you're like 29th in points, oh, now you're in the chase. Ridiculous. Absolutely. I don't even know what to say about that. That's just completely wrong in every sense of the word. You can't have a chase format like that, because then that happens, and it was bound to happen. I mean, I can't believe it was the second year of it, but it was bound to happen eventually that we'd get a champion that really shouldn't have been champion, and that was Kyle Busch. And like I said, Kyle Busch has the talent to be a champion. He absolutely can drive the heck out of a race car. Absolutely. I don't want to take that away from him. But he shouldn't have won in 2015, and he should not be a champion. It's just kind of simple as that, and I might get some flack for that from Kyle Busch fans, but I just want you guys to try to hear me out here. I think what I'm saying is pretty fair, and if you look at the chase system, last year, Jimmy Johnson shouldn't have been champion. He ran not like crap, but crap for him. He ran like crap for him the entire year. And then he won the title, which was exciting, and it was cool for me and a lot of other Jimmy Johnson fans, and maybe other Hendrick Motorsports fans. But did he deserve the championship? Was he the best all year? No, he wasn't. And, I know that he would only have 3 titles if it was the all year, no chase, point system. And I think I would be okay. I'd still be a Jimmy Johnson fan. I wouldn't change that. He wouldn't be a 7-time champion, obviously. But that kind of ends my little rant on that. I think the whole thing has to change. It has to go back to either the top 10 drivers in points and you're in, and I think that was fine, or just nothing, and just because every race has to matter. Because once Kurt Busch won the Daytona 500 and he was in the chase, and he ran like he wasn't even there half the year. And then obviously he was out in the round of 16, but there shouldn't be 16 drivers. 2, it shouldn't be win and you get in. Now you can see my fingers. 2, it shouldn't be win and you get in. 3, no rounds, because that is the craziest thing. And really quickly, stages before I have to go eat dinner, but stages it's not a terrible idea, but what they have to do with the stages is don't throw a caution for every stage, because that changes the entire complexity of all of these races, every single one of them. So, it's cool if Kevin Harvick was leading on lap 50, he gets a stage win, all right, fine, but keep the race going. Don't throw a caution. That changes the entire complexity of everything. I think that stage points are cool. It rewards people for doing consistent, and then maybe they crash at the end of the race. you know, they had a good car at the beginning of the race, so reward them for that. I'm fine with that. I'm definitely more partial to finish position, even though it screws you over sometimes, but sometimes you do really well. Maybe you start in the back and you don't get stage points the entire race, but you finish really well. So I think the old system overall is just much better. Either the old chase system or like the Winston format, which, you know, wasn't really a format, was just every race counts. But yeah, the current one is just bad, and the Kyle Busch example is the main example of why it's bad, is because someone can miss apparently that much amount of time and easily make it in and win one race, Homestead, and be the champion. You can finish second in every single race, finish second, or you can win every single race, finish second at Homestead to some guy in the final four, and you lose a championship. I mean, that's absolutely insane. It shouldn't be like that at all. So that's kind of what I wanted to say in this video. This is a longer video. I didn't want it to be long as my first one on this new channel that I made. But I hope you guys enjoyed it and hope you can at least see where I'm coming from. And if you have any similar thoughts or different thoughts, which are even better, just throw them in the comments. I definitely try to read all the comments and stuff. So please let me know what you think about this chase format and everything. I've had a problem with it ever since they implemented it. 2014, we got Kevin Harvick, deserving. 2015, Kyle Busch, not deserving. 16, Johnson, not deserving. So, you know, earned it, right? But there's a difference between deserving it and not deserving it. And this is, again, from a hardcore Jimmy Johnson fan. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, there's gonna be more to come with this series and just kind of talking NASCAR in general. Maybe I'll do a weekly thing. I'm not really sure yet, like I said, first video, but that's it. So that's what I wanted to talk about, and I will catch you guys in the next one.